Can you remember how you felt the very second you were shown the red card?
I do. Because when I put the hit in, I remember thinking that was going to look amazing on the highlight reel. Because if you actually watch back, I went to jackal him straight away. I got the ball in my chest. I remember thinking, right, I thought they'd target me because I made an error at the back of the line out the week before against Ireland. So the obvious thing is the French are going to come down the back. But what's great, and without trying to sound too technical, is when they jumped in the middle of the line out, it means we got 2 or 3 potential jumpers or lifters who are free. So I can and it was Dan Lydiot. So I remember at the back of our line out didn't engage in any lift because they didn't need to. So whenever that happens as an open side, every time you can just say, and it was Lids at that point, I went, Lids, take 9. And I don't have to worry about 9 running whatsoever. All I can do is just completely unload on whoever is the first threat, which you read on the way, but normally 9 or 10 or blindside wing. 10 was way deep, and it was only Vincent Clerc. So I thought, well, I can just empty it on him. So I remember just hitting him as hard as I could. And at the time, it didn't feel anywhere near it didn't feel as bad anywhere as it looked. You know, when I sat down on the bench after, I looked up on the big screen and I watched it back. I remember at that point, I remember thinking that's harsh. That's not a red. But I watched it back, and then it did look a lot worse. And then that's when the guilt came in. So when I got given the red, I've always thought, I hate the petulant footballers who complain at referees. So I always thought to myself, if ever that happened, and I only ended up my career with 1 red and I think 3 yellows or something, for a 7, which is there's hardly anything. But I remember just thinking, and there's going to be millions of people watching. When I walk off, and they're going to zoom in on my face, just walk off and just don't show any emotion, just keep it together completely. Because there's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can do. So I disagreed with it, and I said straight away I thought it was a red. They've released laws that week, which I wasn't aware of, because there was stuff going on in the group stages about horizontal tackling. But if you watch the quarterfinal, I did exactly the same to Stephen Ferris. I did exactly the same to Rowan Lugara. I wasn't told not to do it. It was the dump tackle. I grew up on dump tackling. That was when I used to play for my school, Witchers. I used to make sure I dump tackled someone at least a few times a game because that was just my way of stamping my authority on people. But that one escalated out of control. Obviously, I'd never wanted to hurt or injure anyone. So I wanted to pick him up and I wanted to put him down hard, but never on his head. I'm not stupid, do you know what I mean? Never on his head, on their back, of course, and legally. But I remember when it happened and I did pick him up, I remember thinking, whoa, this is spun out of control. So I just thought the best thing to do was let him go. But when I went to my hearing, that was the worst thing I could have done, because then they say if you let someone go once they pass horizontal, then you're just not looking after them. Yeah. But I did it because I just panicked and just didn't know how to stop this from cascading out of control. So I thought I was doing the right thing by just being like, whoa, I'm just going to leave him. But if I held on to him, maybe it would have been safer. So I remember just walking off, and there was a camera about 5 metres in front of me, not even that, a few metres in front of me for the rest of the half, just waiting for me to show some emotion or whatever, and I just had to keep it together.